Do you wonder if he's already forgotten you? If he's moved on? If his life just picked up where it left off? As though what the two of you shared is now just a memory. That if he ever loved you, those feelings are now gone. Many women assume that a man's silence means he doesn't care. That distance means detachment, and calmness means closure. But the emotional world of men is far more layered than it appears. Not all pain makes noise, and not every absence means indifference. There are men who don't cry in front of anyone, but break down in private. Men who block you yet still type your name into the search bar. Men who say they're fine but express their hurt in cryptic posts, in quiet pauses or in exaggerated displays of happiness that mask what they can't fully process. Male pain often goes underground, disguised as contradictions to the outside world, but actually complex ways of protecting a wounded heart. Because when a man is hurting, he doesn't scream it, post about it, or write it in messages. You'll only notice if you're paying close attention. This is one of the biggest emotional differences between men and women. While women often express pain more openly, or suppress it completely, men tend to develop a quiet, coded emotional language, as if they're speaking in riddles, waiting for someone perceptive enough to understand. In this video, I'll reveal the 7 silent signs a man shows when he's still hurting from losing you. Even if he won't say it. Whether it's pride holding him back, or the fact that you're no longer around to listen. His body, his energy, and his actions are already telling the story. These signs aren't games or manipulation. They're real, vulnerable expressions of emotion. The kind that show up when the heart wants to speak, but the mind can't find the words or the courage to say them. Let's begin. Sign 1. He talks about you, but not to you. When a man has truly let go, he doesn't talk about you at all. You become part of the silence, part of the past, a chapter closed without needing to be reread. But when the wound is still open, when something inside is unresolved, he brings you up, just not directly to you. Maybe he mentions you to mutual friends. Maybe someone tells you he asked how you were. Or you see a vague reference in his story or post, and you wonder, if he still thinks of me, why doesn't he just message me? Because he can't. Something inside him still aches, but pride, fear, or uncertainty holds him back. Won't let him take that step. It's like his heart is trying to speak, but his mind keeps locking the door. Reaching out feels far too vulnerable, too risky. So instead he leaves breadcrumbs, small traces of emotion, scattered through others. He keeps you present in his inner world, not by calling or texting, but by letting your name slip into conversation. When a man still has feelings, even if he pretends he doesn't, he starts talking about you. To friends, acquaintances, sometimes even to people he didn't expect to see again. He brings up the past. What went wrong, what hurt him, what you did, or didn't do. And if he's still talking about it, it means he's still feeling it. This is one of the most common ways men process grief. They speak it out loud because they haven't yet made peace with it internally. Even if he insists, he's over you, his words tell a different story. It's as though he needs others to reflect his pain, so he can begin to understand it himself. By talking about you, he's not just venting. He's trying to piece together what happened. He's searching for meaning, for closure, for answers to questions he hasn't even fully formed yet. In every conversation about you, he's rewriting the past. Not to change it, but to try and release it. Don't mistake this as a reason to go back. See it for what it is, a sign that he's still restless, still hurt. And if you're already growing, already healing, you don't need to chase or correct the story. Just observe, because often, the pain that can't be spoken directly is the pain that weighs the most. Sign 2. He avoids you in person, but doesn't stop watching you. There's a kind of silence that doesn't mean indifference. It means self-protection. It's a quiet defense, a man still feeling deeply, but afraid of the impact of closeness. So instead of reaching out, he pulls back. He avoids contact, but he doesn't stop watching. And if you've left a mark on his heart, you'll notice it. He doesn't text. He doesn't initiate. He may walk the other way. But if you're in the same room, if you pass by him, you feel his presence. He'll avoid eye contact. He'll look away just as your eyes could meet. He'll act unfazed, but the energy says otherwise. Because the truth is, he's still tuned into you. Even in silence. Even in stillness. He watches from a distance. Not because he doesn't care, but because caring is what scares him the most. But when you're not looking, he is. He observes you quietly, studying your expression, your movements, the way you carry yourself now. He takes mental notes he'll never admit to: what you were wearing, what you said, who you were with, whether you looked happy, whether it seemed like you'd finally moved on. Even if he insists, he feels nothing. He's watching, because facing you would mean feeling again, and feeling hurt. His pride tells him there's no point. His mind builds walls to protect him, but emotionally, he's still tied to you. So instead of coming close, he keeps his distance, not as punishment, but as a protective barrier. It's his emotional survival strategy. He maintains visual contact, because he needs to know, but he avoids direct interaction, because it could shatter the fragile structure he's built to hold himself together. This is where many women misread the signs. They see him avoiding them, and assume he no longer cares. But often, that silence is the sound of someone barely holding it together. Sometimes pain needs space to stay intact. And when you remain grounded, calm, composed, not chasing, not provoking, he feels it. It heightens his internal conflict. Because true detachment doesn't chase it, resonates. It creates a stillness that echoes louder than confrontation ever could. So if you notice he's avoiding you, but still watching from the corners, don't chase him, don't confront him, and don't punish him with coldness. Just be present, calm, emotionally steady, because in your peaceful presence, he sees the reflection of everything he hasn't let go of. Your composure becomes a mirror, a quiet reminder of what he lost and what might still be possible. When you don't react with drama, when you neither chase nor shut him out completely, you're demonstrating a rare emotional maturity. And even if his pride won't admit it, his heart recognizes it. Sign 3. He acts like he's thriving, but it feels forced. He starts posting more. You see pictures of him smiling, sharing motivational quotes, saying things like, "Everything happens for a reason," or "I'm my own priority now." He's out more often, dressed better, responding to your stories with indifferent emojis, or casual reactions. From the outside, it looks like he's doing better than ever, but something feels off. There's an edge to his energy, a smile that seems more like a mask than a true reflection of joy. A vibe that feels more like a silent scream than self-assurance. Because not all men collapse when they're heartbroken. Some disguise it. They perform happiness. Not just to convince the world, but to convince themselves. And more than anyone, they want you to believe it. Every story, every subtle shift in appearance, every seemingly happy moment, is designed to send one message: I'm fine without you. But the truth is, if he really didn't care, he wouldn't need to prove anything at all. He's still hurting. And that exaggerated display, it's just another form of pain, dressed in confidence. Because he still feels something, but can't say it to you directly. He expresses it in the loudest way he knows how. It's like he's silently screaming, "Look how amazing my life is without you." But beneath that scream is a quieter plea: see me, notice me. Know that I still exist in your world. Someone who's truly at peace doesn't need to prove it. Someone who's genuinely healed doesn't need a stage. But someone who's still hurting often wears a mask, pretending that nothing touches him, because acknowledging the pain would make it too real. And here's the subtle truth: it's not about manipulation or malice. It's self-defense. Pretending to be okay is the only shield he has against a storm of emotions he hasn't figured out how to process. If you understand this, you don't need to match his performance. You don't need to post your own curated version of "I'm better now." Just observe, because if you truly are at peace, your quiet stillness will echo louder than any filtered story. Real emotional strength doesn't compete. It doesn't broadcast. It simply is. When a woman realizes that behind every exaggerated "I'm fine" is often a heart still healing, she can respond with compassion, not with ego, not with rivalry. Now let's move on to sign 4. He contradicts himself, overreacts, or gets angry without clear reason. A man who is truly at peace moves with clarity, consistency, and calm. But a man still carrying emotional wounds, especially unspoken ones, often reacts in ways that seem confusing, erratic, even irrational. He blocks you, then unblocks you. He reaches out, then vanishes. He ignores you for days only to reply with coldness or sarcasm. He posts cryptic messages, unfollows you, then follows you again. And you're left wondering, what does he want? Why is he doing this? The truth is simple. He wants not to care, but he can't stop. He tries to act indifferent, but his emotions betray him. He wishes you didn't matter anymore, but he still craves your attention. This is not a game. It's a silent war. His logic saying, "Let her go," while his heart whispers, "But I still need her." And in that inner conflict, you become the battleground. His actions aren't random. They're the symptoms of unprocessed grief. Grief that doesn't know where to go. So it spills out in the form of contradictions and confusion. Many women mistake this for instability. But it's not madness. It's emotional pain with no healthy outlet. He feels exposed, but can't admit it. So he lashes out, withdraws, reappears, and sends mixed signals. Not because he wants to hurt you, but because you still live inside him. So what should you do? Don't play the same game. Don't respond with sarcasm, coldness, or confusion. Don't pour fuel onto the emotional fire. Instead, see clearly. Understand that what looks like chaos or contradiction is often unspoken pain, trying to be heard without words. He's not attacking you. He's unraveling in ways he doesn't know how to explain. If you're grounded, if you see through the noise without getting pulled in, then you don't need to react. You simply hold your presence from a distance. Because when a woman doesn't get swept up in the storm, when she remains calm and steady in the face of emotional turmoil, she becomes the very peace his heart is still searching for. This isn't detachment. This isn't emotional coldness. It's wisdom. It's the understanding that sometimes the most powerful response is silence guided by empathy. Behind every contradiction is a man fighting with himself, and what he needs most is not someone to match his confusion, but someone who reminds him, even from afar, what clarity feels like. Sign 5. He starts posting content you know is meant for you. He doesn't call. He doesn't text. He might even have you blocked somewhere, but not everywhere. Then suddenly, the stories start. Photos where he looks better than ever. Lyrics that echo moments only the two of you shared. Quotes that strike chords only your heart would understand. Posts that aren't random. They're coded messages, emotional Morse code meant for your eyes. And you, is this for me, or am I imagining it? You're not imagining it. When a man is hurting silently, but doesn't feel ready or safe to speak to you directly, social media becomes his stage, his outlet, his confession booth. He posts not just to be seen by the world, but to be seen by you. And he does it with just enough ambiguity to protect his pride. Because if he truly didn't want you to see it, he wouldn't make it visible. But he does. And you're watching. And he knows. And maybe he's watching you too. To see if you react. Even if you don't like it. even if you say nothing. Why? Because deep down he needs to feel that he still stirs something in you, that he still matters, that his presence still lingers in your emotional space. It's a passive dance, but every step is intentional. So what should you do? Don't react impulsively. Don't send a message asking, "Was that for me?" Don't hand him the validation he's indirectly fishing for. Just observe. And if someday you truly want to reach out, do it not from a place of emotional reaction, but from grounded intention. Because when a man is still trying to prove how amazing his life is without you, what he's really revealing is that a part of him is still hoping you're watching. It's one of love's quiet paradoxes. The more he tries to show he's over you, the more he confirms that you're still living somewhere within him, even if only in silent corners he's not yet ready to admit exist. Sign 6. He blocks you, unblocks you, disappears, and then reappears. One day you open your messages, and suddenly you're blocked. No argument, no explanation, no warning. Then, just as unexpectedly, days later, you're unblocked. No message, no apology, no clarity. He might even react to something you posted, as if nothing ever happened. As if the silence, the vanishing act, the wall he built was never there. And you find yourself asking why? What was that? But the real answer isn't in the action. It's in the emotion that drives it. When a man is suffering internally, when he doesn't know how to manage the emotional weight, his need for control often takes the shape of cutting you off. Blocking you becomes a way to feel strong, to draw a line he can't explain but desperately needs. A boundary not built from peace, but from pain. But the heart doesn't operate in clean breaks. And once the intensity fades, once anger softens into longing, once silence starts echoing too loud, he comes back. Not always with words, not with apologies, but even just unblocking you is a silent message. I still don't know if I want you close, but I also can't bear you being completely gone. This is emotional ambivalence, and it's one of the clearest signs that he's still hurting deep inside. Someone who's truly healed doesn't keep cutting and reconnecting the thread. But someone still tangled in their pain doesn't know whether to let go or hold on. So what should you do? Don't react with drama. Don't demand answers. Don't mirror the behavior. Simply observe. His actions reveal a disorganized heart, not a clear intention. And you? If you are emotionally grounded, you don't need to join the back and forth. Stay still, stay centered, stay consistent. Because when he comes and goes and you remain steady, you become the calm in his emotional storm, a lighthouse that doesn't chase the ship, but quietly reminds it where the shore is. Even if he never says it out loud, he feels it. Your emotional stability, your quiet strength, is something he longs for, especially in the moments when he's most lost within himself. Sign 7. He doesn't reach out, but he doesn't let anyone else take your place. He doesn't call, doesn't text, doesn't show any signs of wanting to reconnect. And so you start to think, maybe he's moved on. But here's the truth. His silence doesn't mean his heart is free. He might have opportunities, people might be interested. He might even try to connect elsewhere. But inside, no one fits. Not because they're not enough, but because they don't stir the depth he once felt with you. He compares consciously or not, and no one quite reaches that same place in his heart. It's not a matter of ego, it's emotional imprint. You left a mark, a frequency he's still attuned to, and until he fully processes what you meant to him, no one new feels quite right. This is one of the most silent yet powerful signs of unresolved feelings. He's physically distant, but emotionally unavailable to everyone else. So what should you do? Not wait, not chase, not try to compete with his silence. Just grow, heal, be the version of yourself that doesn't need him to return to feel whole. Because if his journey eventually brings him back, it won't be because you tried to fill the gap, but because your presence never stopped resonating within him. And if he doesn't come back, you'll know you didn't lose yourself waiting. Your peace will be your reward, and your growth will be your closure. He wants to move forward. He wants to feel free. He wants to experience something new. But every attempt, every conversation, every date, every smile feels hollow. Because even as he tries to let go, he keeps comparing. He remembers. He relives. Someone texts him, but he doesn't feel the same spark. He goes out but comes home emptier than when he left. People notice him, but no one moves him. Because deep down, there's still a space only you ever occupied, and he hasn't been able to fill it. The most striking part, you won't see any of it. He won't say it. He won't post about it. He won't cry in front of anyone, but he lives it. In every night where connection feels impossible, in every date that falls short, in every smile that doesn't reach his eyes. When a man says he's moved on, but can't let anyone else in, it's not because he's over you. It's because he still carries you, quietly, heavily, painfully. His silence, his distance, his coldness, they're not signs of forgetting. They're signs of a private war inside himself. He wants to move on, but can't. He wants to feel something new, but still feels you. He wants to open his heart, but it's still yours. And the hardest part is, not even he understands why. So remember this, just because he doesn't message you, doesn't cry for you, doesn't admit it, doesn't mean he doesn't feel. There's a kind of man who suffers silently, not because he wants to, but because he doesn't know how to do anything else. His pain won't come in words. It shows up in contradictions, in blocking and unblocking, in vague Instagram stories, in watching from a distance, in glances that say more than his silence ever could. Don't be fooled. Silence doesn't always mean forget. Sometimes silence is the loudest scream from someone who just doesn't know how to let you go. If this message helped you see something more clearly, helped you read what was never said, then share it. This isn't just about love. It's about emotional truth. It's about learning the unspoken language no one ever taught us how to understand. And one final thing to remember. A man may stop talking to you, but if he hasn't stopped feeling you, sooner or later, you will know.